Pada pilgrim season starts from this day. It was on a poor day like today that the Bhikkhuni order had commenced in the island. According to the Shasana history, 11 Bhikkhunis headed by Arhat Sangamita Thero had arrived in Sri Lanka from Damadeva, India, carrying the southern branch of the sapling of Sri Mahabodhi. Many special religious programs are being conducted in Viharas throughout the island in connection with the extremely significant events of the Unduap full moon Poya day. The Sri Pada pilgrim season has also commenced on the Unduap full moon Poya day today. Large group of devotees are continuing to arrive at the Sri Pada Sthana. The God summoned statue, regalia and the casket of sacred relics were deposited at the Udamaluwa this morning for the veneration of the general public. The Sri Pada pilgrim season ends on the Vesak full moon Poya day of next year. The police was reported to have implemented a special program for the security of the pilgrims worshipping the Sri Pada sacred site. It is prohibited to carry water bottles and plastic items to the Udamaluwa as all arrangements have been made at this location for the benefit of the visitors. The ChannelEye Rupavahini Corporation telecast live throughout the day today of its Unduap Full Moon Poya Day Sadharma Varsha religious program from Sri Sudarshana Rama Vihare, Kiribadgoda. The national television religious program is comprised of Buddha Puja, Dhamma sermons and Dhamma discussions.
President Anurakumara Dissanayake has acknowledged the resignation of Speaker Ashoka Ranwala. The Parliament Secretary says the Secretary to the President has informed the Secretary-General of Parliament in writing that the President has accepted the resignation of the Speaker. The newly elected Speaker of the 10th Parliament, Ashoka Ranwala, had informed the President in writing that he would resign from his post in terms of Article 64(2) of the Constitution. Accordingly, the Secretary to the President has given this written communication to the Secretary-General of the Parliament. The Speaker has declared his decision to resign from the post, focusing attention on the issue that has arisen due to his educational qualifications. Several new members are to be sworn in upon resuming of the parliamentary sessions on the 17th of this month. The appointment of a new Speaker is to take place after the taking of votes.
The Alut Piyapat organization is saying that the National People's Power is working towards building the prosperous society with confidence expected by the general public. This has been reported at a media briefing of the organization held today.
රටේ ලොකු දේශපාලන
Steering
පෙරලියක්
committee
මේ
member
වෙද්දී
of the
වෙලා
Alut Piyapat, Nirman Veerasinghe, says the massive upheaval is taking place. He further said that nobody is questioning today of the absurd doctorates of the type of Deshabandhu and many other forms extended purely on political basis. This evil political culture is gradually changing and the media is also coming out of slumber. More positive responses from the NPP would be expected. This party is engaged in providing positive answers to the problems.
The Ministry of Finance in a statement says Sri Lanka has successfully concluded its international bond restructuring following 2 years of intense negotiations. The Finance Ministry announced the successful conclusion of its offer to exchange defaulted international sovereign bonds for new securities, reporting an extremely high level of participation. The statement added that at the close of the offer period, Sri Lanka reported an exceptionally high level of participation across all bond series, with nearly 98% of the total outstanding ISBS expected to be exchanged for new securities. The offer, launched on 25th of November 2024, invited ISB holders to swap their bonds for new debt instruments. This follows an agreement on the 19th of September 2024 in principle with two key groups of bondholders representing around 50% of the outstanding ISBs. Minister of Finance, Planning and Economic Development, President Anurakumara Dissanayake, in the statement said the successful bond exchange would help normalize relations with bondholders and other key external partners. The President has further stated that they are very pleased to see that this vote of confidence from their international and local bondholders. He added that the past few years have been very challenging for the Sri Lankan population, but all of their collective efforts are now paying off. Now, thousands on the streets of Seoul are celebrating after South Korean members of parliament voted to impeach President Yoon Suk-yeol. Yoon has been suspended while the Prime Minister Han Dok-soo is serving as acting president. The Constitutional Court now has 6 months to decide whether to sustain his impeachment. Yoon Suk-yeol was formally suspended from official duties as South Korea's president. A total of 204 MPs approved the motion to impeach Yoon, who plunged the country into political turmoil with a short-lived martial law declaration last week. Han Dok-hoon, the leader of Yoon's People's Power Party, says he accepts today's results and takes it seriously. Meanwhile, all 5 Supreme Council members of South Korea's ruling People's Power Party have resigned, according to Yonhap news agency. The Constitutional Court is set to convene on Monday morning to discuss the schedule of Yoon's impeachment trial, local media has reported. The court will also set a date for public hearing, though it's unclear if Yoon will be present on the stand in person. In the meantime, Prime Minister Han Dok-soo, who is now the acting president, says that he will do his best to run the government, while acting Defense Minister Kim Song-ho has asked the military to maintain preparedness.
Now on the weather, the Department of Meteorology predicts showers or thunder showers in many parts of the island tomorrow as well. In certain locations in the central, Sabaragamuwa, eastern and southern provinces would receive fairly heavy rainfall of around 75 millimeters. Meanwhile, it has also been reported that several reservoirs in the island have already started overflowing. A massive tree has fallen at the 10th mile post in Karandagolla, Bandaravella on the Allavallavai road last evening. As a result, the road was kept closed for more than 1 hour. Measures have also been taken to lift by 1 feet each of the 2 sluice gates of the Kalaweva due to torrential rainfall. A volume of more than 1,000 cubic feet of water in a second is being released to the Kalaweva through the sluice gates. The sluice gates of the Dadurua Reservoir will open at dawn today. Engineer in charge of the reservoir says the gates are releasing a capacity of 14,000 cubic feet of water in a second. Heavy rainfall in Anuradhapura has also paved the way to the lifting of 2 sluice gates in the Mahakanadharava Reservoir. Engineer in charge of the reservoir says as a result of water flow of 539 cubic feet is being released to the Kanadhara in a second. 4 out of the 28 sluice gates of the Rajankana Reservoir have also been reopened. It has also been reported that 2 of these sluice gates have been further lifted by 2 feet each and 2 more sluice gates by 4 feet each. A massive influx of water is being rushed into the Kalawaya through these openings. Reservoir engineer says if heavy rain continues, more sluice gates would be reopened.
The Consumer Affairs Authority says that large-scale rice mills in the Polonnaruwa district currently issue around 1.3 million kilos of rice to the market on a daily basis. A group of officials of the authority is being deployed to inspect the rice mills. Rice stocks are being issued from the rice mills in the Polonnaruwa district as a speedy remedy to the current shortage of rice in the market. The CAA adds that large-scale rice mill owners are extending their fullest support to the program. The authority further says that a solution will be found to the rice shortage in the next few days. The Lanka Sathosa Outlets has taken measures to provide essential food items without a shortage. The consumers at Sathosa branches say they are being able to purchase goods without any scarcities. The officials of the Consumer Affairs Authority continue to conduct raids on traders who sell their rice stocks at prices exceeding the control price. Such raids were conducted in Petar today. A court case was filed against a shop which sold a kilo of Nadu rice for 260 rupees when the control price is 230. It has also been reported that several other traders have changed the prices of bags of rice of 5 kilograms. The offenders were released on a guarantee of 100,000 rupees and cases will be filed against them later on.
The Tourism Development Authority says the arrival of foreign tourists this year is expected to increase 2 million. The authority further points out that this figure would equal the number of tourists visited the island in the year 2018. Chairman of the Tourism Development Authority, Buddhika Hevavasam, said that they expect the number of tourist visits to the country reach 2.1 million by the end of this year. He further said that in the month of September there was a slight impact on the tourist arrivals. This was due to the visa issuance problem and the issue concerning immigration. The new government was able to solve these issues. The chairman further said that due to the favourable tourism environment prevailing in the country, they expect an increase in tourist arrivals by 20%. So far this year, around 1.9 million tourist arrivals have been recorded. He also said that during the first 10 days of December, there were 70,000 tourist arrivals. The Tourism Development Authority expects that during the remaining days of the month, the tourist arrivals would exceed 2 million. If this development takes place, Sri Lanka will surpass the tourist arrival record set in 2018, which was the highest tourist arrivals in Sri Lanka has witnessed in recent times. The chairman further said that this is a good trend and expressed hope that by next year they expect tourists' arrival of 3 million.
Large groups of tourists have flocked to Sigiriya today as well. This World Heritage Site has won the hearts of foreign and local tourists due to its enchanting sceneries of waterfalls, gardens, aquatic parks and beautiful Sigiriya frescoes. Locals and foreigners are presently engaged in recreational tours in the current school vacation and Christmas season. Sigiriya is definitely one of their travel destinations. The massive Sigiriya rock is found upon travelling to the Dambulla road from Colombo to Kurunegala. The visitors have to turn from the Inamalua junction and proceed further distance of 10 kilometers to view this historic and magnificent tourist attraction. Sigiriya is well known due to the existence of a palace formed in the shape of a lion.
We are visiting Sri Lanka. We love it very much. It's a beautiful country.
It has been pointed out on the inability to conclude the Karanagala water project, which was planned in 2017 to be completed within 3 years. A group including Deputy Minister Mahinda Jayasinghe was engaged in an inspection tour of the project yesterday. The Deputy Minister said on this occasion that necessary financial allocations will be provided for the speedy conclusion of the project by providing solutions to eliminate the obstructions remaining for its completion. The Karanagala water project was commissioned on the 2nd of February 2017 in order to fulfill the drinking water requirement of around 1 million residents, covering 449 Brahmiladari divisions in 4 divisional secretariat divisions of Minuangoda, Attanagalla and Mahara in the Gampa district. The project, embarked to be completed in the year 2020, aims to fulfill drinking water facilities in many areas in the Gampa district, including Minuangoda, Belum-Mahara, Pasyala and Ranpokunagama. Deputy Minister Mahinda Jayasinghe said that during these previous regimes, numerous frauds and irregularities, including acceptance of bribes, had delayed the construction projects. There had been many underhand dealings. Now, all the obstructions have been removed. He added that hereafter, neither the government nor public representatives would engage in nefarious dealings with contractors over implementation of projects.
The Assistant Secretary General of the United Nations High Commission on Refugees, Ruendrini Manikdivela, has called on Prime Minister Dr. Harini Amarasuriya at the Prime Minister's office yesterday. The Prime Minister has extended gratitude on this occasion over the contributions extended by the United Nations High Commission's Office on Refugees to overcome the challenges faced by the Sri Lankan refugees. Prime Minister's Secretary Pradeep Sabutantri and Head of the National Office of the United Nations High Commission on Refugees, Sandita Satyamurthy, have also attended the event.
Minister Dr. Nalinda Jayatissa says that the present government is committed to control the prevailing kidney disease, which remain unidentified up to date and which has turned into an immense problem. He has made these remarks addressing a workshop in the Battaramulla today. The event was held in connection with the unveiling of research jointly conducted by the Ministry of Health, National Kidney Disease Prevention and Research Unit, Chinese Science Academy as well as local scientists. The Ministry of Health is scheduled to study the findings of the research and to provide recommendations on the implementation of the relevant measures. These findings are also scheduled to be used as a basis in the planning of future programs to minimize spread of the kidney disease and to strengthen treatment. Minister Dr. Nalinda Jayatissa, addressing the workshop, said that research would enable to identify kidney patients and to plan further treatment. A contribution of electrolysis machines with a 5,000-litre water capacity to purify water has also been made on this occasion. It was handed over to the minister by Professor Ming Yang of the Environmental Science Research Center of the Chinese Science Academy.
Chairman of the National Medicines Regulatory Authority Specialist Dr. Ananda Vijayavikrama says the NMRA is taking measures to extend services appropriately to the general public via many new methodologies. He further points out that the authority has now been able to come out of the crisis situation that has prevailed previously. Chairman of the NMRA, Specialist Dr. Ananda Vijayavikrama, further said that he wishes to state with pride that many of the prominent problems have been resolved and massive progress achieved. Now the authority has come into a stable position, especially with regard to registration of medicines. Standard tests are being carried out on medicines. Documentation takes place via digital or e-system medium.
The Police Media Division in a communique reiterates that it was according to a decision taken by the committee appointed that the government has taken measures to revise the number of security officials deployed on behalf of the retired presidents to 60. The report adds that news items published in certain media regarding this measure are totally false. A news item is being circulated in social media at present regarding the reduction of the number of security officers for the protection of former President Mahinda Rajapaksa, and that the relevant section should bear the responsibility in the event of any harm or threat caused on the retired president. The Police Media Division vehemently denies the accuracy of this statement, stating that assignment of officials for the protection of VIPs is based upon the committee appointed by the government to look into the security evaluation reports on former presidents and to assess the expenditure to be incurred by the Sri Lanka Police in this connection. According to the estimates, the annual expenditure on police officials deployed for the protection of former presidents is 1,100 million rupees. More than 326 million rupees are being spent annually for the security of former President Mahinda Rajapaksa alone. Accordingly, it has been decided to amend the number of security officials to be deployed on former presidents, including Mahinda Rajapaksa, to 60. In addition, measures are to be taken to either reduce or increase the number of officials to be deployed through assessment reports called from time to time. The Police Media Division further says that in addition to the police officials, members of the armed forces are also being utilized for the security of former presidents. Additional army officers have also been assigned for the protection of Mahinda Rajapaksa in addition to the police officials. The Police Division adds that therefore it has been observed that there was no breach in the deployment of security for the retired President Mahinda Rajapaksa. The division also says currently there is a shortage of around 24,000 officials to be assigned for routine duties in the Sri Lanka Police Service. Therefore, it has been decided to withdraw more than 2,000 officials deployed on the security of presidential and prime ministerial divisions and assign them for the general duties. Similarly, deployment of police officials for the security of present ministers and members of parliament has not taken place. The Police Media Division in its communique further points out that a reduction of officials used in VIP security and relocating them on duties at regional police stations has paved the way to effectively combat criminal activities in the country.
Now, teledrama enjoys a large portion of the duration of television transmission. This fact is well reflected by the number of teledramas being telecast on a daily basis. This is a brief inquiry into the number of teledramas you watch on your television. With the introduction of television to Sri Lanka, viewers have been attracted to teledrama fields in a manner anticipated never before. The first local teledrama was Dimutumutu. Since then, the field has been expanded to a magnanimous proportion. Professionals have sprung up through teledrama, yet the question to be asked is whether the general public feels it is a vibrant industry. Presently, teledrama is not restricted to the television screen. Some watch teledramas on their phones. This practice has given rise to new perceptions. You have to decide by yourself to find out whether the teledramas you watch from your sitting room are actually enchanting or not.
And now more local news items in brief. A container vehicle has gone down a precipice of around 50 feet in the Thittavelmankada bend in Radavaduna of the Colombo Kandy Main Road last night. All byroads were also obstructed completely as a result of the accident. Our correspondent says a high-powered electricity pole by the roadside and security fences were heavily damaged in the incident. A Honda Fit GB5 motorcar was robbed near a shop in Kaduwela. The suspect was believed to have entered the shop and stole the car key. Owner of the vehicle requests any information regarding the theft should be conveyed to the telephone numbers 075-601-2617 or 071-679-4764. The government of New Zealand has extended support to uplift many fields in the country, including health and tourism. New Zealand High Commissioner in Sri Lanka, David Pan, has given the assurance at a meeting with Minister Dr. Nalinda Jayatissa recently. The New Zealand envoy has pledged to enhance New Zealand investments in Sri Lanka, as well as to continuously support efforts to increase the number of tourist arrivals to the island annually. A person was killed and 5 others were severely injured in a road accident in Bellankadavala on the Anuradhapura-Kurunegala main road this morning. The wounded have been admitted to the Thamuttegama hospital. Our correspondent says the accident occurred when 2 lorries clashed head-on. And after this break, we'll be bringing you foreign news.
Dengue, 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 dengue. Dengue, 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 dengue. Dengue, 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 dengue. Dengue, 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 dengue.
சரியாக நாளாந்தம் நாம் அனைவரும் டெங்கு ஒழிப்பிற்காக சுகாதார அமைச்சின் தகவல்.
Welcome back, and on foreign news for tonight, Ukrainian drones made several strikes inside Russia today, including an infrastructure facility storing fuel in central Russia's Oryol region, sparking a fire and smashing windows in houses. The Oryol governor said that a mass attack on an infrastructure site caused fuel to catch on fire. The governor of the Krasnodar region, Russian air defenses destroyed Ukrainian drones in several areas of the region south and east of Ukraine. One drone smashed windows in village houses, but there were no injuries. Air defenses destroyed 7 drones over the Bryansk region on Ukraine's northern border. And in Russia's Belgorod region, Ukrainian strikes hit 2 villages, injuring 1 resident and triggering a fire in a house.
Prima Kutumi, Fantamai.
And we have sports news for you. Today is the 4th day of the Lanka T10 cricket tournament, and the match between Galle Marvels and Jaffna Titans teams was conducted. The matches are being played at the Parliamentary International Cricket Stadium. The Jaffna Titans team, after winning the toss, has decided to field first. Accordingly, the Galle Marvel team came to bat and scored 105 runs for the loss of 7 wickets in the 10 allotted overs. Alex Hill, 21 runs, and other batsmen Shakib Al Hasan and Bhanuka Rajapaksha each have scored 20 runs. Dwayne Pretorius has captured 2 wickets for the Jaffna Titans. The Jaffna Titans has won the match by scoring 109 runs for the loss of 3 wickets in 8.3 overs. Charita Salanka has scored 25 runs and Kolir Kadmore 32 runs.
Prima Kutumi, Fantamai.
And that's all the news for tonight. Join us again at the same time tomorrow. Good night.
Good night.